500,000 people gamble in online poker rooms every day. Some are so good at the game they no longer leave their homes to make a living. But where is the line between a full-time job and a full-blown addiction?
Professional poker player Donnie Ariel believes skill is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his success.
That is why I'm a great poker player, because the idea that someone's better than me makes me want to kill myself.
Ariel plays online in the comfort of his one-bedroom Brooklyn apartment. He spends anywhere between 40 and 70 hours a week playing.
Assuming I have nowhere to go, let's say I wake up at 2 and I play for a while, and if I'm losing and I don't have anywhere to be, I will play until I'm pass out, basically.
The lifestyle of a full-time online gambler suits him just fine.
I mean, the thing is, I prefer to do nothing, really. I don't understand. People have like some kind of ambition, but I would be happy doing nothing if I just had like a bunch of money already. So, I mean, I don't know what other people really do for fun. I'm told that they like go to the park and I don't know what they do there. They just like sit around and chit chat with each other.
Ariel rarely leaves his apartment. He uses a special lamp called a happy light to simulate sunshine and works out on his elliptical machine for exercise. He keeps a daily tally of his wins and losses. He made close to $30,000 last month, a whole year's salary for some. He also once lost $20,000 in one day. He's become accustomed to the big numbers over time, but the first loss made a bigger impression.
I remember I lost like $400 and I was driving home from the casino in California, and I drove like 80 miles an hour on this winding mountain road. Very upset. It seemed like all the money in the world.
We showed our footage of Ariel to Joanne Labiner, a psychotherapist who specializes in gambling addiction.
I think he has a serious addictive problem. The biggest warning sign I thought was how he said life is boring. He doesn't really see much in life to enjoy or anything like that. That's a symptom of a very depressed person, and the gambling becomes the thing to provide some excitement and stimulation, because inside he's actually very dead emotionally.
Labiner saw 3 clear warning signs of a gambling addiction in Ariel from the clips we showed her. He is preoccupied with gambling, gambles as a way of escaping problems, and after he loses, returns another day to get even. She also explained the difference between a gambler who's in control and an addict.
A healthier person will say, well, I want to make money, but I also want to have a life. So I'm willing to work 40 or 50 hours a week, but I'm not willing to work 80 or 90 hours a week, because then I'll be working every waking moment.
I was sitting in a casino in Las Vegas, not sure how I was going to get to the airport to get back, with $10 left. And I decided to gamble with the $10.
Chad Dugatz has been battling gambling addiction for almost 15 years.
And fortunately won, but that's when I realized something was wrong. And I remember sitting in front of a slot machine just feeling completely empty inside and disgusted, and listening to the bells and the whistles of the casino going on all around me, just feeling completely bankrupt inside, like an actual feeling of bankruptcy.
The only buttons Dugatz pushes these days are at the radio network where he now works as an entertainment journalist. He believes playing online poker works for some, but for him, the results could be devastating.
My own personal feeling of online gambling is it is very dangerous for me. I just can't even go there. For other people, if they can go there, you know, I think there's moderation. I think moderation is the key for anything. I would much rather just spend an evening at home.
An evening at home now means spending time with his fiancée, Jennifer. They met at a self-realization course to help them achieve certain goals in their lives.
Romy's wedding.
She sent them to you, Father?
Yes.
Being in the program, she actually knew I had problems, some addiction problems, gambling problems. She doesn't know a lot about it. How I used to sell, jeans or clothes or CDs in college to pay for debts.
Oh, I had no idea.
So I rest my case. But
I really had no idea.
How I used to sell everything.
My family deals with addictions also in other forms. And so, I mean, addiction is addiction, whether it's you have to have coffee in the morning or you're gambling $5,000. It's just whenever you decide that it's enough for you. And he did that, so I'm glad I didn't know him then. Yeah, if I knew him then, there'd be no way.
Dugatz used to only feel success winning money playing poker. Now that word has a whole new meaning for him.
Yeah. It's going to be very, very simple.
My perception of success is being happy with my life, going home, my rent's paid, there's money in the bank, I'm not rich, but I can afford things, I can go on a vacation, I can afford my marriage, my wedding coming up in May.
Would you say you're addicted to poker or online gambling?
I mean, the thing is, you know, in all discussions, if you control the vocabulary, you really control the framework. So I'm really reluctant to use the word addicted because you never say someone's addicted to being a lawyer, even if they worked 100 hours a week. So I'm going to use Barry Greenstein's phrase and say that professional poker players are compulsive winners.